everyone, and welcome to the newly refurbished Centennial Sports Arena for CTN's live coverage of boys high school hockey. It's the Centennial Cougars against the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Joe Young and Howie Shapiro up above the action in a beautiful new facility that debuted earlier this season.
Yeah, it's amazing because the last time we were here, this inside looks so different, and they really did a nice job. It's got a nice feel. It's the viewing here. We've got great angles, very different from where we had before.
Yeah, definitely set up for TV with pods at each end for our cameras, and the lighting is outstanding. And, the view on the ice is quite a bit different as well, and we'll talk a lot about it as we move through today's contest. A couple of guys that were in the visitors' locker room last season when these two teams met are now on the home side. A.J. Carl's a sophomore for the Centennial Cougars now, is leading the way, he and his brother Tommy moving in the offseason, and they're definitely having an impact for the Cougars. Well,
and they certainly have, and they play on that first line. A.J., 16 goals, 14 assists. He's a very talented young man, and you combine him with his brother, that brings a lot of offense for the Centennial team. In fact, this first line all had history in the Coon Rapids youth program, so it's kind of an interesting backstory here tonight.
Well, and the Coon Rapids Cardinals have had to do a lot of learning, a new coach coming in, the departure of their two all-conference player as well as a talented senior class left this team with a lot of question marks coming in, and things have changed throughout the season. A very different team at this point than it was when they first dropped the puck back in November. And some of those guys are starting to learn new roles and starting to be effective.
Yeah, and we're talking about Ethan Hansen. He's got 4 goals, but he was a defender for his entire hockey career up until this year. In fact, started off on defense to start the year. But he's one of those young men that were asked to step up, try and provide a little offense, and he's done so. 4 goals on the season. So that's the kind of output, that this team is looking for. As you mentioned, the record isn't what they want it to be, but it's a learning process because this is definitely a new system for these young men.
Well, in a process, it has been with a lot of guys moving back and forth from defense to offense and from JV to varsity, and a lot of new things under head coach Aaron Frock. And of course, without the Carls brothers, who a lot of these guys depended on throughout most of their recent hockey careers, and now to be coming up and having a chance to play against them, it'll be interesting to see how they respond.
Well, I think it's a challenge for them. I mean, coming in, granted just the 2 wins, and they're learning each and every game, but I think the fact that they did depend on the Carls brothers a year ago, they can't have that dependence now. They're going to have to learn to play without them, quite obviously, and I think it's going to be a nice challenge for them.
Well, and we'll see what the night has to offer. The Cougars right around 500. They're on their home ice as we get late into the season against a conference rival. Cougars and the Cardinals drop the puck next on CTN.
Like right now?
Oh, God.
Look at our hair.
Cardinal fans on their feet and red.
Look at red.
Fan, of course, in attendance.
Hello and welcome to Inside Access, your ticket behind the scenes of Coon Rapids sports. Theo and Howie, it feels great to be back behind the desk.
I can't think of too many things better in life. How about you?
I can think of one.
Because it's an all-out sprint to the finish.
Okay. Kind of like your life.
They host Elk River on Tuesday, and Howie, we'll be there.
There you go. It's contagious.
It's all your fault.
Yeah, of course it is.
Sportside, I'm Joe Young.
I'm Joe Young as well. And I'm not so sure how good we'll look on HD, but
I appreciate the effort.
I try.
I do.
I love that. I want that.
Yeah, that needs to be posted on
Facebook.
Oh, it's so nice to all be sitting down together. You can tell me something they did today.
I drew a horsey.
Good for you, son.
I started smoking.
I love you too, sweetheart.
I'm selling bongs out of our minivan.
I got a tramp stamp.
I'm getting implants.
I'm dating your brother.
Uh-huh.
I'm cooking meth in the basement.
Great idea, kiddo. That's why you're so popular at school.
Sports Arena, just about to drop the puck between the Cougars and the Cardinals. Connor Wise getting the start for the Cardinals. He's been the starter most of the season. At the other side, a sophomore getting his first career varsity start, Jack Fuller. And we are underway. Centennial able to chip the puck into the Coon Rapids end. Thompson gets it to Carls behind the net and then gets it back, taken away by Jake Van Holzen. Van Holzen turns and looks ahead. His pass tipped and goes all the way down on Fuller. And it's left there for Ankrum. Behind his own net, leaves it in the corner for A.J. Carls. He'll turn up ice and try and gain speed out of his zone. Left side, A.J. Carls. Forced deep, centers, far side, and a goal for Ankrum.
Well, it certainly didn't take very long for the Cougars to get on the board, Joe, and it's just a really nice sliding pass from A.J. Carls to Ankrum toward the goal, and really not much Connor Weiss could do about it. But, yeah, that happened quickly. Just a nice job setting it up on the offensive end for the Cougars, and Ankrum is going to put it home. I mean, look at it. Nice job. Nice pass across the goal. Nobody there on defense for Cardinals, and Ankrum puts it home.
A lot of net for the Minder to try and cover, and not able to get outside the blue paint and challenge that. And a good wrist shot to the upper corner for Ankrum puts Centennial on the board just 35 seconds into the contest. Coon Rapids trying to force it in deep. Everson had it tipped up, gloved down by Racine, played in, hopped over the stick of Hansen out front, and Billy couldn't get a stick on it. Harry Koval trying to play it in deep, now pokes it away from O'Hara. Played back up the board, out to center where Espinoza will take over at his own blue line. Ahead for Koval. Plays it into the Centennial zone. Everson keeps it away from him, across and quickly up ice. And here's Pearson, a 2-on-1. Shot, save made by Wise. Rebound, chance, a third is in the net. O'Hara just pounding away on the doorstep. And just a minute 21 in, and Centennial has a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, and again, nothing Connor could do on that. Again, he gave it a couple of rebounds, but there was nobody there really to disrupt what he wanted to do. And O'Hara was able to put that one in. We talked about Ankrum scoring that first goal. That was his first varsity goal. And there you're going to see the initial stop and the second stop, but then O'Hara continues to play the puck and puts it past Connor Wise.
Finds that short side, a 2-0 lead early for Centennial, and they're right back on the attack. Played in on Wise. He'll hold on to it and get a face-off to his left.
And that would be goal number 11 for Josh O'Hara. And obviously the early Cougar lead, 2-0.
Wistersill at the blue line, dumps it in deep for Centennial. Chased into the near corner by Jake Van Holzen. Tried to get it up for Joey Klinzing. A couple of white bodies there to disrupt things. And now Van Tassel trying to work his way back out front. Poke to the corner. Novotny out to the point. Kurowski the shot from the point. And it was turned away by Wise. Coon Rapids able to flip it out to center. Wistersill turns it right back around. Avery had it in his skates, collected by Novotny. Back to the near side. Kurkowski will dump it in deep. Wise leaves it behind his net. Novotny, first one there for Centennial. Centering pass taken away by Avery, but then gives it up to Wistersill, who plays it back into the corner. And we're going to have our first penalty of the game. It's going to go against Coon Rapids. Jake Corey to the box for a rough. And Centennial with a 2-goal lead, and now we'll have 2 minutes on the power play.
Officials have to keep them separated as well. And again, not a good situation for the Cardinals. Already down 2-0. Now they're going to have a skater short as Jake Corey's going to hit to the box. There you see the penalty right there on Jake.
Centennial on the power play. Cardinals trying to tie up. Play to the point. Lemire keeps it in. Right side for Bartle, a shot that misses wide off the end boards. Out to Tommy Carls, gets it to A.J. Carls. Into the slot, a shot up over and off the glass. Collected off the boards by Bartle. Bartle spins back away from Ryan Corey. Trying to find some room in. Knocked off his stick, tied up by Espinoza, who gets control. Funny bounce off the glass. A.J. Carls plays it back to the Far side for Bartle. He'll turn and shoot. And holding on for the faceoff is Wise.
That was a tough angle, but Wise able to make sure that he hung on to that shot.
On just a clearing attempt that took a funny bounce, turned into an opportunity for Centennial. Not really a dangerous shot from that spot. But they regroup off the faceoff. Another shot from that angle by Bartle, turned away by Wise. Bartle with it again out near his own blue line. Leaves it for Lemire, pokes it away, and then it's cleared all the way down by Koval.
Yeah, they needed that cleared. They needed to regroup a little bit, get some of that pressure out of their own end.
Henry Bartle, the center, leaves it for A.J. Carls. Carls will enter the zone, set up on the left wing, and now duck behind the net. Plays it off the board out to Lemire at the point. Lemire leaves it there for Bartle. Bartle steps around Aker, walks in, a shot and a goal.
A quick early lead for Centennial as they now get another goal here. 13:28 into this first period, and they've already got a three-goal lead. Goal on the power play by Bartle. That will be his 16th goal on the season. He's able to fire one there. That pass to the far corner, past Connor Wise. Nice little drop
from Lemire to Bartle. Bartle walks in. Able to go far side. Just above the pad and below the blocker. 3-0 Cougars. That pass didn't click underneath Ankrum's stick all the way back. Gives Fuller a chance to get involved in the game. Hasn't seen a lot of action so far. Coon Rapids with no shots on net. Bukowiak steps up and changes that. Not a dangerous shot, but it at least made Fuller save it to the near side boards. Centennial bank pass through, and staying onside was Forga. Goes to the back door, and that deflected away from Max Hamstead. Forga again in the corner. New power. Into the corner, bothered by Bukowiak, tied up there, able to flip it along. Comes out to the point. Munson steps in and sends it in deep for Hamstead. Back out to Munson. Munson will take the shot, the save, a rebound, and a goal. New power cutting across the top of the crease. Pokes it between the legs on Wise. And we are just 4.5 minutes in. It's 4-0 Centennial.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that situation, and really, Cardinals are going to regroup here. Aaron Yund is going to take over in nets.
That was quick.
That was quick.
I didn't know he could. Actually, since he played a period and a half at JV, but
and just already 11 shots on goal for the Cougars, and certainly 4 goals. And
Cardinals play it down, icing waved off. First one there is Korkowski. Plays it around to the near side. Espinoza there to clog things up, keep him in deep. Tommy Carls in the far corner, pressured there by Harry Koval. Carls goes down. Koval lost his stick, and here come numbers to center. A.J. Carls into the zone. Takes the shot and scores. Found it underneath the pad on Yund.
That's a tough test for young Mr. Yund, as Tommy, or AJ, I'm sorry, is very, very good scorer, prolific goal scorer. His 17th of the season.
Well, he's way out on top of the paint. Like to see that. Just he saw the right pad come down a brief second before the left, and it just sneaks underneath. And that's tough. You mentioned not only did he just come in, but he's looking at a kid he's played with for the last 3 or 4 years. Has been a very good scorer who likes to go high. And I know that Aaron was thinking he's going to go high. He's going to go high. So maybe stayed up. I liked how far he got outside the crease, though, challenging the shooter, especially on an odd man rush. It was a 3-on-1, so he might have also been thinking pass. Either way, AJ able to slip it underneath. He's got a goal and 2 assists already in this game. It's a 5-0 lead for Centennial, just over 5 minutes in.
Yeah, they're showing why they've got firepower, quite obviously. And I don't know if it's surprising to you, Joe, but basically a 500 team. You would think with the amount of firepower they have, they'd be maybe over that 500 mark, but I'm not sure.
They've played in a lot of close games.
They have.
And I'm sure it's not a record they think they would have expected at this point in the season. They expected to be a little bit better, but they've played a tough schedule, and they played a lot of really good teams in close contests. But unfortunately, the Cardinals have seen this before, where they fall behind early, and then it just kind of snowballs, and there's another one.
Wow. Yeah, our public address announcer just barely got that last goal out. He's got to announce
Here's
another
another
one.
Look at it.
Van
Cardinals
Tassel.
arguing it. Jan makes the save on the first one, and then it comes back around and gets poked in on the backside. And they're discussing it out at center ice.
Yep.
I don't know if the net was perhaps off.
They're waving it off.
Are they waving it off?
They are going to put it back in the Coon Rapids zone.
Yep, so they will wave that goal off.
Because you're going to give up 20, so we're going to wave this one off.
Not sure what the explanation was. The Cardinal players were clearly pointing at something to the official right after it happened. I don't know if the net had come off. But the goal will not count, so it will stay 5-0.
We'll see it again, see if we can get some clarification.
Oh, they're saying he played it with a high stick right there. But if that's the call, then it's got to go all the way to the other end of the ice. I mean, I think it was played with a high stick, possibly off the boards. Hard to tell from that distance, but either way, the goal waved off. Here comes Centennial, 4 across on the attack. That's when you know you have confidence against the team you're playing, when you're skating 4 strong into the zone. Lemaire out at the point, takes a shot, hits traffic out front, batted around, still loose, comes back out. Lemaire will fire it up into the netting. It was deflected, so the faceoff will stay in the Coon Rapids end.
Yeah, again, continued pressure by the Cougars. You're right, though. They know they can probably do whatever they want to against this Cardinal squad, and they're continuing to pressure, continuing to try and run up this score. Already 5-0, just 11:09 remaining in the first.
Well, and unfortunately, as I mentioned, it's happened before. This is the second time in 3 games that Connor has been pulled less than 6 minutes into the contest, and because the Cardinals found themselves down 4 early on, and it's not to his fault, as you had pointed out, but you give up a ton of pressure and a ton of shots early, and no help on the rebounds. Shot through traffic, deflected, and ends up off the end board. Bartle recovers off the near side board, plays it across for Munson. A shot, save made, rebound still loose.
The Cougars doing a nice job of getting to the puck. They just
And this one played all the way down by Ellenson, and not sure how that wasn't icing.
I think it touched somebody.
Munson will skate it up through center, flip it in on the backhand. Yonda's just going to cover up and get a face-up. And the Cardinals just really need to grit their teeth and try and keep it out of their zone and at least get to the locker room without any more damage.
Well, Coach Frock knew coming in this was going to be a tough one. And, I don't know that he expected it to be down 5-0 this early into the hockey game. But, it's just a matter of just trying to do your best to get back into it.
Forga turning it around for Centennial at center ice, staying out of the reach of Alex Billy, chased into the corner, then throws Billy down with the shoulder, and that's going to get Centennial its first penalty.
According to our official scorekeeper, the Cardinals looking for their first shot on net.
There was one.
We
saw it.
Yeah, we did. But
Jordan Blakoya.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be able to count it on one hand. But penalty coming at 7:13 of the first period. See if Coon Rapids able to get something going on the power play.
Well, and they need something to go on the power play. They need something to go right, something to go their way.
Centennial plays it behind, wings it around the boards. Carl's bumped off it. Tommy Carls plays it across Wistersill. Wistersill into the zone. His shot blocked into the corner. Van Holzen will recover it there. Pressured by Tommy Carls. Taken into the boards. And that's going to get high stick for Jake Van Holzen. And that'll be the end of the Coon Rapids power play.
Yeah, it didn't last very long. And number 10 will take a seat in the sin bin. See it up here as he's getting that stick up.
Easy call.
Yep.
So now 4-on-4. You got the Carls boys out there for Centennial. Poked out to center by Kamani Poor. Everson back in his own zone for Centennial. Across for Lemire. Lemire leaves it for Everson. Circling, staying away from Nathan Clark. With speed into the zone. Stops up in the corner out front. Kicked away by A.J. Carls. Carls finds his way to the scoring zone. Planks it off the point, the pipe. Nearly played back in front. And here comes Kamani Poor. Poor will dump it in and give chase. Get there in front of Lemire, and he's taken into the boards hard. And here comes A.J. Carls, one-on-one. Waiting for help. Everson getting to the back door, tied up by Dominic Espinoza, not able to get a stick on the pass.
Yeah, nice tie up by Dom to keep his stick off the ice.
And here comes Bartle. Bartle into the zone. Shot, save, and the hold by Yun for a faceoff.
So far, 17 shots on net for the Cougars here in period number 1. Yeah, they've certainly been dominant. Cardinals not been able to get the puck on their own end very much.
Lukowiak skating up the boards will now play it out to center. Stopped up and turned around by Ankrum. Bartle can't reach back for it. Ryan Corey gets to the red line, dumps it in deep. He gives chase. Munson, first one there, takes it behind the net. Poked off his stick, pressured there by Ryan Corey. Then taken away by Derek Avery, but Bartle ends up with it for Centennial. Ankrum staying away from a poke check, finding his way through center into the zone. Leaving it off for Thompson. Thompson had it poked away by Jake Corey, then to open ice where it's picked up by Bartle. And now a short power play and a goal for Bartle walking out of the corner. His second of the game.
Yeah, Bartle just able to take that puck and
both of his coming on the power play.
Yeah. Now 17 goals for Bartles on the season. As you mentioned, he scores his second. Just going to poke away. Able to get it past Yund.
Well, Yund tries to poke check, but good reach and extension by Bartle to stay out of the reach of the goaltender, the defenseman, and both the other defenseman, and find a way to tuck it into that far post. And Centennial right back on the attack in the Coon Rapids end. Van Tassel dumps it back and now gets it back. His shot deflected into the corner. Koval spins, gets it behind for Espinoza. Espinoza lost the handle, taken away by Van Tassel. Van Tassel trying to fight around into that corner. Poked free. Wistersill will send it back around. Van Tassel in the near corner, down low, got away from Max Marshall. Novotny recovers, passes through the slot. Korkowski just keeps it deep. Marshall tied up along the boards. Finally poked out to center by Hansen. Novotny stops up at the red line. Skates around a poke check into the zone. Shot kicked away. Played out front, intercepted by Billy. Alex Billy on the move the other way. gets it to Hansen. Hansen will dump it in. Fuller behind his net tries to slow it down. Poked away by Wistersill. And here's Wistersill again through center. Wistersill on the left wing trying to cross out front. Jack O'Hara had his stick tied up. Here's Everson walking in from the point. He'll circle toward the boards. Lemire through traffic. That deflected into the corner where Peterson recovers. Derek Avery tried to get it ahead. Here's Matt Ellenson. Knocked off the puck. Hansen can't clear. Cardinals trying to force it up the boards. It's taken away. Puck played down low. Poked free. And a save by Young keeps it away. Lost his stick tied up in players. Circling with it is Bartle, a shot that ends up in the corner. Peterson recovers, tries to wrap on the backhand. Corey will tackle a man in the corner. Puck squirts free to Everson. Here's Bartle with it, coming off the board. Drops it off, gets it back. Bartle, near side for Lemire. A shot that hit a shin pad, ends up in the corner. O'Hara plays it back to Lemire. Cross to Everson, back to Lemire through traffic, and that missed wide. Poked right back to Bartle. Even when the Cardinals get possession, they just give it right back.
Yeah, I mean, they're just having such a difficult time getting it out of their own end. The only opportunity they really have is to clear it out, to try and get a little bit of that congestion away, is to ice it.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
But you got to clear it out.
But you do.
You can't just poke it right back to their
No,
other
absolutely
guy.
not. Yeah.
Let them reset.
I mean, you got to get it out of your end any way you can, even if you have to ice the puck.
This end of the ice has been pretty busy, still pretty shiny.
Yeah.
In the Centennial zone.
Yeah.
Off the faceoff, a shot, a glove save by Young, and we'll try again.
Yeah, this is.
I didn't really want to see him play tonight. I got to see him a couple minutes in JV. I really didn't want to see him, especially this early.
Well, yeah, of course.
As much as I love watching my kid play, as a goaltender parent, you don't want to see him come in that early in the first period. That means things aren't going well. That one skipped under the stick of Koval. Van Holzen high off the glass, kept in at the blue line by Munson. Munson leaves it off, stepping up is Ankrum. Ankrum into the corner, avoids a check. Bumped by Van Holzen. Gets it on. That shot bouncing. Rebound still loose. Out to the point. Munson through traffic. That was deflected high into the corner. Forga over there to fight for it for Centennial. Cougars able to puck it back to Munson at the point. His shot blocked by Clark. Gets it right back. Walks in. Shot that didn't make it through either. And here's Clark trying to go back the other way. Just chips it out through center and retreats to the bench for a line change. Cougars trying to catch him on the line change. New Power flips it ahead. Trying to send Forga in. Coon Rapids able to break it up and get it turned around. Hansen will send it in deep. Pressuring on the forecheck is Racine, but the Cougar is able to break the pressure and skate to center. Here's New Power ahead for Tommy Carls. Tommy to the backhand, and he missed it.
Oh, and he had a wide open net as well.
This kid's got hands.
Yeah.
He's a fun player to watch. Out to the point, and that one was off angle and carries Korkowski back into the neutral zone. AJ Carls drops it for Tommy. Back to AJ. Broken up by Aker. AJ circles out of the corner. Pass broken up by Espinoza. Espinoza will chip it off the boards out to center. Recovered by Korkowski just inside his own zone. Ahead to AJ Carls. Carls plays it into Tommy. Into the slot and a goal.
Oh, it was a nice feed from his brother, from AJ to Tommy. And you talked about the hands. Did a nice job of getting in and clearing some space out front. And able to put that one in, and all of a sudden now it is 7-0 Centennial with 2:30 remaining here in period number one. I just see him just kind of step away from a defender and then just wrist shot puts it past Aaron Yund. That's goal number 13 on the season. I'm sorry, goal number 9 on the season for Tommy Carls.
Well, Coon Rapids, their worst loss of the year last, just over a week ago. A 16-0 loss at the hands of Elk River. And this one
could be headed that way.
Has the markings of being that way. Puck poked to center by Derek Avery. Got his stick knocked away and wanted a call, didn't get it, and argued for it. And then he grabbed hold of the guy and gave him a hug, and that's going to get him a penalty. And that's just an unwise decision on the part of number 12.
Yeah.
We'll put Coon Rapids back shorthanded on against the Centennial power play that is 2 for 2.
Yeah, and against a team that surely doesn't need to be shorthanded to score goals, as we've witnessed. You definitely don't want to leave yourself in that kind of a situation, already trailing 7-0. Minute 44 remaining in period number 1.
Cougars win the draw, back to Wistersill at the near point. Sent across and gets it back. Near side, a shot to save, and the hold by Yun.
Yeah, and again, you see another white jersey right there on the doorstep, and good job by Aaron Yun just to make sure he held on to that puck and forced that face-off to his right.
Another face-off win. Wistersill will set up. Back to Pearson. His shot deflected up into the netting out of play, and we'll start over. Wistersill will get it back. Shot through traffic, misses wide off the end board. Munson plays it back out to the point. Van Tassel to Pearson. Goes to the back door, and Thompson hit the side of the net. Poked out of the zone by Ryan Corey. Alleviate the pressure at least momentarily.
Yeah, well, you have to.
Wistersill behind his own net, leaves it for Thompson. Thompson will skate with speed through center. Around behind, avoids this poke check. Back out to Wistersill at the point. Wistersill through traffic, that hit a body. Still loose out front, kicked by Van Tassel, and then slid it through the slot, and nobody could get a stick on it. Thompson back to Wistersill. Wistersill to Pearson, a save by Yun. Wistersill will knock it down, and then it's knocked free by Racine out to center. Van Tassel circling, able to get through some traffic, and offside. Pearson in a step early. 17.6 remaining in the period. 34 seconds remain on the power play for Centennial. Lemire to Munson. Munson looking to center, drops it off for Van Tassel under 10 seconds. Lemire to Pearson, trying to get it to Munson in front. Van Tassel backhands it to the back door. Pearson mishandled it, and the buzzer sounds. And we will go to the first intermission. Centennial all over the scoreboard, 7-0 as we reach the end of the first period. We'll take a break and be back with first period reaction after this.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Drew, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
welcome back to Centennial Sports Arena. We're watching CTN's live presentation of boys high school hockey. We've played one, Centennial 7, Coon Rapids nothing. I'm here with head coach Aaron Frock from the Cardinals. And Coach, we talked about some things, keeping the puck wide and keeping it out of your end. Unfortunately, in that first period, it didn't go the way you wanted.
Well, we were a little mentally flat. Really struggled in front of the net. We weren't helping our goaltender out, and he's just kind of having a rough night. He even said he wasn't here tonight, so it's not a great start. So when you're giving up a couple goals that early, it's really tough to recover.
So when you're down 7-0 at this point, what do you talk to the boys about between periods?
Well, let's get back to the basics. It's got to go back to a 0-0 game. We can't think that it's 7-0. We got to go back to what makes us successful with pucks in deep, being simple, holding lines, being first to pucks. We got to go back to the basics.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second period. We're going to take a quick break and be back with stats and highlights of the first period right after this.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Back at the Centennial Sports Arena, Cougars with a huge lead and just overwhelmed the Cardinals from the opening puck drop and just put up a big number in the first period.
Yeah, and as Coach Frock talked about, we know we got to go back to the basics. We got to go back to being no score. We got to do with the things that we know we should do coming out in the second period. But saying all that, it's tough to dig out of a hole again, like especially against a good team like Centennial.
Well, and you saw some frustration from the Cardinal players, taking some penalties late in the period, some hits that kind of took them out of plays. They have to, as Coach talked about, get back to being a 0-0 game. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Just worry about how you can be better on your next shift. Right. And if they can do something, anything, to alleviate some of the pressure, that would definitely be nice. The Cougars come in a 2-on-1, score on a sniper goal just 35 seconds in. They're up 2 on the rebound on the third attempt that put them up 2-0, just a minute 21 in. And they just kept on coming. They get the power play goal from Bartle that made it 3-0. And then after 4 goals in just 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, they go to backup Aaron Yund, and he's continually under a barrage as well. 24 shots to 0, the official tally on the board, although we know that Coon Rapids had 1 shot on goal.
They
saw it. We talked about it.
We did talk about it. And, I mean, you're going to look at the stats.
Not going to show on the board,
no,
but
unofficially, it's there. I can see it.
Unofficially, it is definitely there.
It is there. But 24 shots on goal in the first period, that's pretty impressive. And more so even impressive is 7 goals in that first period.
Well, it's to Centennial's credit, honestly, when Coon Rapids took the timeout, since that time, the Cougars have called off the dog somewhat.
They have.
They're looking now for that backdoor feed. They're trying to work on some in-zone offense because they know that this game's pretty much well in hand. They can work on some different things, get some different players an opportunity. So the mindset now on their bench, I think really during that timeout and since has been, let's do the things we haven't done very well. Let's go out there and work on those. If we score on those types of goals, that's fantastic. But we don't need to just pressure and pound away to get more goals because we're well in control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great situation for them because they can do those things. And as you mentioned, they can also get some players in, get a little more ice time, especially at the varsity level, to get some more of that experience. But for the Cardinals, again, they just have to try and see what they can do about generating some offense because the puck has been in their end just about the entire first period.
Puck possession is what it's all about. The Cougars have pretty much controlled the puck the entire first period, just not letting Coon Rapids up for air. Cardinals have to start to establish some sort of possession, move the puck a little bit, and maybe get a shot or 2 on goal.
That would be good.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with the second period from Centennial after this on CTN.
Jeff Foxworthy here. You know, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Well, thing is, there's a lot more to say. Like if you've ever found yourself burning yard debris and then walking away, well, you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Back at the Centennial Sports Arena. Look at the focus on that kid's
Yeah.
face as he prepares his crease. He's been busy.
He must have some good training growing up.
He just likes cameras like his old man.
Oh, yeah, he's a ham. Chip off the old block.
So Coon Rapids starting shorthanded for 17 seconds. This one, I don't know if that hit a stanchion and then went out of into the, I don't know if it hit something in the Coon Rapids bench, but play stopped and we'll start again. A couple of weird bounces already through the first period. Young just bumps it into the quarter. Pearson will play it around behind. Jake Corey bumped off it by Munson, plays it out to the point. And now back to the point. A shot through traffic. Young screened all the way.
Yeah,
Never saw that.
He never saw that.
And it was just after the penalty had ended, so not a power play goal.
Quick one, though.
Just 21 seconds into the period.
Yeah, quicker than the first goal in that first period. I believe that was 37 seconds. 35 seconds in.
Wister Sill just wrists it through,
Yeah, he had
and there
no
you
clue.
saw the reaction. He get down, cover as much net as you can, and hope that it hits you. You got bodies in front. Koval pressured, able to get through one stick check, move it ahead. Nathan Clark to center, dumps it in. Fuller will just cover it up. We'll have a face-off in the Centennial end. Not a lot of those.
Haven't seen
in the
too
first
many.
period.
We have not seen many of those.
I don't know
at
that
all.
we saw any.
This might be the first.
I don't think they iced it. I don't know that we saw any
They
offensive
did pretty
zone.
much what they wanted to in that first period.
Flipped behind for Korkowski. He waits and plays it to Forga at center ice. Forga into the zone. Out center. That shot was deflected. Comes back, and it's chipped in by Ankrum. Pass to the slot, a backhand, and kicked away. A rebound goes up over the net and comes around. Shot through traffic off the side of the net. Recovered in the corner by Newpower. Newpower trying to stay with it through some traffic. Poked out to center by Clark. The Cougars regroup. Forga will enter on the right wing. Knocked off his stick and played back out to center by Koval. Over skated by Korkowski, and he'll go back to his own corner to regroup. Forga lost an edge. This one dumped in deep. Koval first one there. Fires it off the boards. That's going to be kept in. Over the stick of Pearson. Bartle trying to recover and does. Bartle behind the net. Taking off of it by Espinoza. His pass got away from Alex Billy, and Lemire back into his own end. Lemire will get it back from Everson and skate behind his own net. Lemire plays it to himself off the board into the zone. In deep. Behind. Pressured by Koval. Leaves it. O'Hara behind the net. Avoids a check. Gets it to Pearson. Pearson stays away from Espinoza. Out to Lemire at the point. All the way across. Bartle will leave it there for Everson. Everson is shot. Deflected out front. Young makes the save. And it's sent the length by Corey. Will have an icing. And a face-off back in the Coon Rapids end.
Again, just trying to clear that out. That as Young gets a little bit of a piece of that, I believe. Got a little piece of that puck. Is it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Off the face-off shot, deflected up and out of play.
Yeah, we talked about it in that first period. Just the only way for them to really relieve a little pressure is to ice the puck, and we saw them do it there before. 27 shots on goal so far for the Cougars, a couple for the Cards.
Off the face-up, played in on Young, scored it away from his glove. Out to the point, Munson plays it across. Wisterstill's shot is blocked. Out to center. Munson had Billy's stick stuck in his skate, still trying to get it out.
There you go.
And that's mercy on the part of the official right there. Not calling the trip because
right.
It's doesn't get much more of a trip
but it got
than
right
that
in the
right
blade.
there. And they let the icing go as Corey was clearly a couple feet on his side of the red. Poked back into the corner, and Jan lost his stick, and I think we bumped the net off at the same time. Or the referee is showing more mercy. It's possible. I don't know that the net came off. Oh, they are saying the net came off and that it was by the pressure of the offense, so the faceoff coming outside the zone. Clearly you saw Young's stick get caught up in the attacking player, and they went into the net. And it doesn't take much to knock him off the moorings. Ankrum to Thompson, plays it in on the backhand, stopped up. Tommy Carls had it momentarily into the corner. AJ to Tommy behind the net. He lost the handle. Tied up, poked at. Thompson comes away with it. Thompson pressured by Koval into the corner. Out to the point, Ankrum will play it into the far corner. Wheeland, first one there. Got it to Kamani Poor, avoids some pressure, plays it ahead. Tucker Anderson will dump it in deep. Fuller will stop it behind his own net. And that is going to be offside as that came just outside the line before being poked back in. Another one face-off for Centennial, played across. A.J. Carls can't get to it. Hanson plays it in. Fuller behind his own net, scoops it near side. Poked along. Blakowiak stepped up, and the puck came out. Thompson shoots wide. Ricochets almost out as Lemire steps in to keep it in. Billy trying to clear it out, but can't. A.J. Carls stopped it up. Racine able to get it just outside the line. Tommy Carls cross-ice pass deflected. Glove down by Blakowiak. He gets it into the zone as it's knocked down by Lemire, and Everson will carry behind his own net. Lemire, long stretch pass was partially deflected. A.J. Carls will get it into the zone. Espinoza tied up by Carls along the end board. Tried to get it to Tommy and does. Tommy looking for Lemire, walking in from the near point. Lemire centering pass. All red jerseys there. Cardinals can't clear. Shot misses wide for Forga. Thompson back to the point for Everson. Everson through traffic, deflected into the corner again. Thompson leaves it for Newpower. Bumped off it by Espinoza. Racine able to get it to Tucker Anderson. He's bumped off it. Lemire walking in. Steps back in. And then kind of coughed up the puck. It's played all the way down. That's icing. And a face-off back at Coon Rapids end. 11:18 to play here in the second period.
Yeah, the Cougars did a nice job of just keeping that puck in the Cardinals zone. That time, Cardinals no other opportunity other than to ice the puck to kind of clear up some of that pressure. But now it's right back in their faces. We saw in that last flurry just not being able to clear that puck.
Hampstead wins the draw. Newpower's shot blocked by Ellenson. Recovered by Van Holzen in the corner. Plays it up the board for Cleansing. The Cougars able to poke it back in deep. Van Holzen high off the glass out to center. And icing waved off as it's slowing down. Behind the net is Munson. Chased by Ellenson. Pushes it ahead. Turned right back in deep by Jake Corey. Wistersill plays it around for Forga. Wistersill poking it to Newpower now. Newpower will recover, circle, and skate to center. Jordan Newpower in close, rebound, and held onto by Young. Good job following the bouncing puck.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous, but yeah, he saw where that puck was all along, and he's able just to bring it into his glove.
Well, Newpower just got around the corner, tried to jam it in, at least create some chaos, and a rebound at a teammate on the doorstep, and that one tipped and ended up wide. Billy can't get it out of the zone past Ankrum. Hansen flips it ahead. Racine to center and dumps it in. Fuller will play it around behind. Out to Hansen. Hansen back to the point. Wheeling through traffic. Bouncing around in front. Hansen spins, shoots. Save made by Fuller, and he'll hold on.
Good chance for
That's
Coon
the
Rapids.
first. That's the first relatively decent scoring chance for the Cardinals in this contest.
Yes, it has been, and again,
And it's all about getting bodies. Look at how many red shirts you have in the slot below the hash mark.
It's the first time we've seen that.
And you
tonight.
get a point shot from the point.
Yeah.
That's basic
what you need
hockey.
to do. Yep, that's what
and
you
that's
need to do.
absolutely what they need to do when they, find themselves, under a lot of pressure. And when you finally get to that end, get pucks and bodies to the net all you can. O'Hara had it knocked away by Koval. Bartle down low. Korkowski tied up by Billy. Support comes, poked free. And it's Pearson behind his own net. Ahead, that pass off the skate of Bartles. And it's played right back in by Whelan. Korkowski circles, long pass for O'Hara, just deflects it along. Whelan in his own end, taken right off his stick and into the back of the net. As he had Jake Pearson trailing him all along. Put it right on his stick, and Pearson able to find the short side and make it a 9-0 game.
Yeah, we talk about it when you turn the puck over in your own end, bad things usually happen, and there again it did. Pearson able to get the puck away and able to score, make it 9-0. But look at it, takes the turnover right there in front of the net. And
faked our camera out.
Yeah. That will be Pearson's 4th goal of the season.
That one clearly unassisted.
Yeah.
Novotny spins in the corner, plays behind. Out to the point, bobbled by Lemire. Now shoots into the near corner. Novotny circles. Backdoor pass. And played back out front. A shot or rebound. Kick to the corner by Young. Marshall plays it in deep. And now around. Lemire forces it back down low. Centering pass deflected away by Corey. Poked out to center by Nathan Clark. Everson chased back into his own end. Stop up in the corner. Now get it ahead. Waiting for it is Van Tassel. And here's Novotny into the zone. Novotny trying to get back to him. Went off a Coon Rapids skate. Played ahead. Here's Alex Billy in on a breakaway his shot. And then its rebound chance didn't have much angle. Everson rather, tied up with Billy into the far corner. Poked back in deep by Corey. Marshall sends it back behind for Everson. Everson ahead. And Novotny into the zone. Novotny waiting. Pass taken away by Ethan Hansen. Trying to get it to Munson. Loose puck recovered by Billy. His pass just out of the reach of Ryan Corey. And in deep where it's recovered by Wistersill. Poked into the near corner. Ethan Hansen tying up with his opposite number. The 20s doing battle along the boards. Good hold at the blue line by Espinoza. Now Thompson able to play it to center. Van Holzen can't get it deep. Continues to battle near side. Van Tassel sends it in. Yund will swing it around the boards. Wistersill holds at the blue line. Tommy Carls through the blue paint all the way to Munson at the far point. That shot through traffic. Young stops and holds on as Tommy Carls sent into the net. Gave a little punch back. Got a little punch in return. Body's falling over the netminder. In a discussion, and it looks like Tommy's headed to the bench, to the box. They always get the retaliation.
They do. You always can.
And you're never going to get the benefit of the doubt
Nope.
when you're up 9-0. But we're going to have we got 2 Cardinals going to the bench. Andrew Racine and Dominic Espinoza both into the box. I didn't see Espinoza really get tied up in it, but I know it was Andrew who gave the shot. Now Espinoza comes out. We're just going to have offsetting minors, and that's the right call.
Yeah.
Tommy Carls with a retaliation, and then the retaliation right back by Andrew Racine, and they'll offset. We'll play 5-on-5. Really bad penalties for both. I understand where Tommy's coming from for sure. That's, you get pushed into the net behind the play by a former teammate. Obviously makes it a little worse. And then you give him a shot, and then you get the shot back. And that's frustration on the part of the Cardinals. A little frustration on the part of Carls as well.
Well, you know that Coon Rapids, may mark those 2 guys, AJ and Tommy, a little bit closer here. Obviously, the history.
Van Holzen plays it around. Ellenson can't control. Corey got it to Poor. Poor will flip it high out to the red line. Munson gets it turned around. AJ Carls looking to find some room through center. Bouncing puck, hopped over his stick. He'll regroup back at his own blue line. Ahead to Munson. Munson stopped up by Klinzing. Klinzing can't get it past him. That got out of the zone, though. Munson land off to Bartle. Bartle behind the net. Top of the circles. Down low, and fanning on the one-timer was Thompson. And we have a hand pass.
Yep.
And a face-off going all the way back to the Centennial end. That's one way to get it to the other end of the ice.
Any way you get it out of your zone is okay. Whether it's the hand pass or if it's icing, at least you got to clear some of that congestion for a while. Because there's been a lot of it in front of the net keeper. Whether it was Connor Wise or Aaron Young, a lot of pressure early on, and it's continued.
Koval through traffic, gets blocked out front by Ankrum, who was on his knees. Ankrum ties Billy up, keeps him off the puck. Gorkowski recovers, his pass ahead, and here's Forga looking to get around Koval. Koval does a nice job of holding his angle and not allowing him to get around. And they both go crashing into the net, but the puck stays out.
And that's the main thing. Keep that puck out of the net.
Well, and this is just a good job. He was clearly beat, but able to get his shoulders in front so that he couldn't get turned towards the center part of the ice. Newpower keeps it in at the blue line. Espinoza circles back into the corner. Hansen there to move it along. Kept in. That pass out of the reach of Hamstead. Hamstead recovers along the boards, out to Ankrum at the point. Ankrum sending it in deep. Hamstead waits behind the net. Bats that one out of the air. A little baseball touch. Bounced to a dangerous spot, but again, stays out of the net. That shot deflected out front, hit a skate, didn't make it through. Espinoza will skate to center for the Cardinals. And here comes another odd man rush for Centennial. Shot the save. Newpower trying to backhand it out front again, and that didn't work, but it still got to Hamstead, who got it back to Newpower, knocked off his stick in his skates, bumped and stays with it. Klinzing finally gets it for the Cardinals. To the line, but not out. Kept in there by Pearson. Finally forced all the way down, where Everson recovers in front of his own net.
Yeah, finally is right is able to clear some of that pressure, but they've had such a difficult time doing so.
Lemire to Pearson, back to Lemire into the zone. Trying to self-pass, trying to jump through. Puck loose. And they're going to move the face-off back outside as Lemire came crashing into Young, took the net off the moorings again.
Yep.
Pearson into the zone, tipped away by Van Holzen, recovered by Bartle out to Lemire at the point. Cross to Everson, his shot. That didn't make it through. Corey can't clear. Held in nicely by Bartle. Pearson pokes it along. Down in the corner is O'Hara. Bartle now with it behind the net. Bartle skates all the way to the top of the zone and right back in. Looking to hand off to O'Hara, out to Everson instead. That's deflected back into the corner. Pearson first one there. He's bumped off it, but recovered by Bartle. Bartle circles, looking for O'Hara out front. He was tied up. Everson tips it into the corner and recovers. Out to the point, Lemire. Shot misses wide into the corner. Bartle with it off the board, and we've got a penalty coming up against Centennial.
This will be an opportunity for the Cardinals on their power play. That just trying to generate something here. Only 5 shots on
They've
net.
got the Coon Rapids box open.
Oh, they do actually.
I think they're just mistaken because we're going down to the Centennial end. And
oh yeah.
He gave the.
Oh, there we go.
It's going to go against
O'Hara.
Josh O'Hara for interference. Off the draw, Van Holzen through traffic, blocker save by Fuller. Koval hustles to the loose puck, pressured by Tommy Carls, got it to A.J. Carls, and Carls drops it off. Wistersill wings it over, and that is just, that's how the Cardinals' night is gone.
That's unfortunate, yeah.
That's a shot that went over the net, bounced so hard it came back and went off the back of the netminder into the net. That's when you know everything's going your way. That's your third power play goal.
That's Tommy Carl's second goal of the night.
It wasn't Tommy.
Oh, was it?
No. It's
AJ.
No, Jake.
No.
It was Wistersill. No. Oh, he does.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
So it didn't go
right
off of
place,
Aaron's
right
back.
time. No, it just came. I mean, nothing. Obviously, that Young could do anything about on that goal. That's just as you mentioned. That's how Coon Rapids' night has been going. Anything that can go right for Centennial has gone right. And give them credit. They've already 10 goals here, and we've still yet to play a third period.
So AJ, I've got him at least 4 assists and a goal.
Yeah. That'll be Tommy Carl's 10th goal of the season.
They announced it as his 13th.
Yep.
Munson into the zone, jumps over some sticks, rips it off the point, recovers his own rebound in the corner. Coon Rapids playing with a floater in the neutral zone, try and back the Centennial defense off the blue line. See if they can get it out of the zone a little easier and more often. Stolen away by Novotny. He walks in. Kept wide by Van Holzen. Hands off for Ankrum. Ankrum behind the net.
Cougars back to full strength. 1:15 remaining.
Turnover right in front. Yund able to make the save. Rebound. Good tie-up by Van Holzen, not allowing Novotny to send it toward the net. Chance in close. Yund able to make the save, and net came off again. 1:01 remaining here in the second period.
And obviously, an extremely comfortable lead for Centennial.
Cardinals play it back out to center. Centennial will regroup. Lemire off the boards into the zone, and a little too much on it. That'll be icing. And a face-off back at the Centennial end. Centennial able to win the draw. New power to center. Poked away by Hansen. Hansen plays it to the line, but not out. Lemire to Everson. Everson waits for traffic, takes the shot. Yund able to track it through the bodies out front and secure it for another face-up. Lemire through traffic, kicked away by Yund, recovered by New Power, and then poked away from Hampstead. Everson back to Hampstead, back to Everson, through traffic, misses wide into the corner. Out to the point, Everson keeps it in again. New Power circles. Down low, back out Everson. Under 10 seconds remaining in the period. Fired wide into the corner. Everson will wind, fire. That's blocked by a sliding Ethan Hansen and cleared the length of the ice as the buzzer sounds. And we will go to the locker room. Ethan Hansen feeling that one a little bit. Centennial a huge lead, 10-0 after 2. We'll take a break and have more from the Centennial Sports Arena after this. You're watching live high school hockey on CTN.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back to the Centennial Sports Arena, where you're watching Boys High School Live. Hockey Live on CTN. We have played two. The Centennial Cougars easily in control, 10-0 over Coon Rapids. I'm with Centennial head coach Rich Menny. And Coach, you guys did pretty much what you wanted in that first period and carried over to the second. Talk a little bit about what you're seeing out there from your squad through two.
Well, I think our guys are doing a decent job of moving the puck, and we're talking to them about not being selfish and moving pucks, and it's hard. They all want to get their piece of the pie here, I guess. But, you know, we had a little lull there, and I think the Coon Rapids guys were playing hard, and they had a couple of pretty good opportunities, so we're trying to take care of our D zone and reiterating that to make sure we have high forwards and we're not getting too selfish there.
Up by 10, what do you do to keep your guys motivated going into the third in terms of coming out there and then just playing their game?
I think it's the section time. I think it's just going into Thursday against a tough Totino Grace team, and we don't want to have a lull going into the third and have a downer maybe going into next or this Thursday's game. We want to have good energy to finish up the game with the way we started.
Thanks, Coach. Continued luck in the third period. We're going to take a quick break and be back with stats and highlights from period number 2 right after this.
Hey, sweetie. What did you learn in school today?
I learned that the 2020 census counts everyone in the U.S. Where there are more people, there are more needs for things like roads, schools, and hospitals.
I learned that billions in funding goes to communities like ours because of the census.
I learned that the Census Bureau collects data about communities in all states and territories of the U.S. Statistics in Schools offers free educational materials powered by census data. Learn more at census.gov/schools.
Back at Centennial Sports Arena, it's all Cougars after 2. It'll be running time in the third, a 10-0 lead. And this is when they clearly changed their strategy and called off the Dogs a little bit, so to speak. But they get a couple of bounces in that period. They only put 3 more on the board. But the first one right away at the beginning of the period, a shot the netminder never saw through traffic. And then they get one late in the period, shorthanded, which I called a power play goal because they came in 3-on-2 on a rush.
They did. It
and
looked
they were
like
still
a power play.
Shorthanded, and just a nice play by Tommy Carls on the deflection of a puck that got to where it was out of pure fortune for the Centennial Cougars.
Well, and as you mentioned, too, only 3 goals scored in that second period by Centennial.
Yeah, this one just 21 seconds in, and you saw Young never saw it through the screen. And he was busy again in that second period. Coon Rapids able to get a few looks at the Centennial net finally. And, at least make sure that their netminder was awake. But this one, just a turnover that can't be made.
Right.
And Pearson buries it immediately. Alex Billy on the breakaway, didn't get as much on that shot as he might have liked. And then the last one, this is shorthanded, coming in 3-on-2. Wistrom's shot, I don't know if Aaron got a piece of that or not and deflected it up and over, but it comes back over the top of the net. And then Tommy able to get a stick on it behind the netminder and knock it home for his second goal of the game.
38 shots on net for Centennial. They've been able to pepper the Coon Rapids goal all night long. And again, if you're Coon Rapids, you kind of want to reiterate what Coach Frock said in that first period interview. Is that we just have to go back to basics, back to 0-0, do what we can to really try and even get on the board. Some sort of moral victory for the Cardinals. They don't want to come out of this game without at least scoring a goal or two if they can possibly help. We'll see if we see that first line of the Carl brothers and Thompson in this third period.
We definitely saw a lot more of the third and fourth lines in that second period than we did that you would have expected in a tighter game. But I think the shots missed a couple, but I may be biased due to my being a goalie parent and the parent of the goalie.
Yes.
This is the first time that we've done a game that he's gotten in for varsity time.
Well, yeah, and he's getting a lot of time, obviously, here early on.
He's been busy.
He has been busy. Yeah, he'll be a tired young man tomorrow.
Well, and Coon Rapids just hoping again to just find some positives to take away from the third period. Thought they did a little bit better in the second. They did create a couple of scoring chances at least. Anything to get a takeaway. Positive takeaway from this game. They're very busy over the next 10 days. They have 4 games in the next 5 days and finish with 6 games in the next 10.
Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of rest for these young men, but again, that's the schedule and you got to play it. You have to continue to fight each night every time you take the ice, and that's something that they're going to try and do here in the third period. Even though it'll be running time, there won't be as much of an opportunity, but they'll be able to see what they can do coming out here in the
First step is to get through the third period. Cougars with a huge lead, 10-0 as we head to the third. You're watching live boys high school hockey on CTN.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Back at Centennial Sports Arena, the Cougars a 10-0 lead to start the third period against the Cardinals. And the kind of game and score we knew could happen, but we're hoping would not. And it'll be running time for the remainder, barring some sort of miracle.
Yeah, we knew coming in that this could be a game that may look like this score, but we are hoping for the best.
Cleansing is shot through traffic, blockered away by Fuller. And Forga back the other way for Centennial into the zone. New power. Trying to slide it back to him. Turnaround shot. Pad save by Young. And the Cougars get it right back in the far corner. Cleansing. Trying to turn with it. Can't get it past New Power. New Power able to sidestep some pressure out front. Forga shot. Save made. Rebound. Flipped to the line, but not out. Everson will keep it in. He'll shoot through traffic. That hit a body and went to the corner. Forga recovers. He's pressured by Jake Corey. New Power had it. He's bumped off it. Grabs on for dear life on Kamani Poor, but won't draw a penalty there. Cleansing sweeps it around behind for the Cardinals. Poor pokes it to center. Everson gets it across to Forga. Cross head to New Power. Poked away. Back to Forga. Can't get it deep. Kumani Poor circling. Trying to get away from Thompson. Tried to leave it for Van Holzen out of his reach. Van Holzen delays. Now flips it up the board. Tommy Carl centers. Turned away by Koval. Clark ahead. Off the stick of Ryan Corey. And Corey pressures into the zone. Gets it away from Lemire. Pokes it free and takes a hit in the corner. A.J. Carls along the boards. Kept in by Clark. Tied up. Poked free. Ryan Corey sends it back up the boards. Backhanded in by Koval. Off the skate of Everson. Backhanded to the far corner by Corey. Clark trying to center. Out of the reach of Poor. Was taken off the puck by Connor Thompson. Pass through center. Swallowed up by Koval. Koval will play it off the boards out. Lemire forces his way back in, but loses the handle. Koval pokes it right back out to center ice. Everson waits, regroups, back to the near side. That pass deflected and didn't get through. Carls will play it in. Fuller will poke it there for Lemire. Almost got there late, but eventually gets it ahead. Tommy Carls spun around at center ice. Puck played back into the Centennial end. Everson will look, turn, and come to center with speed. Everson along the boards, taken away by Billy. To the line, but not out. Thompson fires it back in deep. A.J. Carls waiting for it, taken away by Espinoza and played to center. Korkowski at his own blue line. Centennial across ice. Lemire will start it over. Korkowski, long pass, broken up by Espinoza into the zone. Carls will get there in front of Espinoza, turn away with the puck. Tipped away by Hansen, kept in at the line by Racine momentarily, and now backhanded in deep by Hansen. Fuller will leave it behind the net. And now get it back from Wistersill. Korkowski pokes it ahead. Marshall flips it out to center. Espinoza turns it around. Van Tassel high flip into the zone. Icing waved off. Van Holzen will send it around. Van Tassel first one there to play it back in deep. Marshall avoids a check out on the backhand. Lost an edge. In close. Bounced around and into the net. And that one was kind of
that was an odd one. Yeah.
Not even sure who had the last touch on it. Puck,
we'll take a look.
Puck kind of bouncing all over. But you see three white jerseys going to the net.
Van Tassel, I think, big.
And somehow puck gets through.
See if 18 gets that last touch. I believe he did.
They do give it to Owen Van Tassel on the touch. Novotny and Marshall will get the assists. Short angle shot high and out to the near post. Munson plays it back in low. Novotny bumped there by Garrett Burnett. Tries the wraparound. The rebound is pummeled home by Marshall.
Oh, then some, yeah, there's some tempers flaring out in front. That's frustration.
Well, and this unfortunately is what happens when defensemen get caught watching the play rather than tying up bodies. Marshall came in on a loose puck, just
hammered it.
Nothing that.
Did he get tossed?
Look at Marshall all alone out front.
Did Corey get tossed? Because he left.
Does look that way.
He left the ice.
And that's incredibly unfortunate. He was just back from being ejected after the Elk River game.
Yeah.
In which the Cardinals were run out of the building. This will definitely make the third period go even faster as we have discussion among the referees.
As the clock continues to roll.
Sure, Alex Billy overseeing the trainer, and
you got a cut
hopefully
on
he's
his
going
elbow.
to be okay.
You got a cut on his elbow. You'll be fine. Just see him rubbing some dirt on it. You should be good.
Well, we have 5-on-5 on the ice. So see what if they announce anything as just being a game misconduct. If it's game misconduct, then Jake would also miss tomorrow's game at St. Paul Highland Park, as he did miss the Osseo game after getting ejected late in the game against Elk River. Long pass, Pearson through center. Stops up, gets it to Bartle, pokes it down low, wraparound chance. Yund has a pad there to make the stop. They go back to the other side, got it to Everson standing alone at the top of the... You can't let the opposition stand alone at the top of the crease. And that's why, right there.
Yeah, just put it right out in front of the net, or at the angle, just pushed it right past.
I mean,
not much Aaron can do about that, obviously.
I mean, he stood out there, like, had a snack.
Yeah.
And then when the pressure started to come to show some defense, he just slid off of it. They passed it to him. He one-timed it home. That's that's just
too easy.
It's...
You'll see it again. Right.
I mean, just look at that. Look at the red jerseys.
Yeah, they're just standing.
2 red jerseys, 3 red jerseys, standing with no one around them.
Yeah, that's. I know they're probably very frustrated. They're down now 13-0, but you got to continue to play hard until the final second is done.
O'Hara's second of the game. Yeah, a lot of guys padding their stats in this game. And as you heard Coach Manny mention, everybody wants to get their piece of the pie, and it's hard to tell them not to score. Right. But, and they have. I really think that they've changed some things, and they haven't been actually here in the third period. They've gone fighting after some rebounds a little more than they did in the second. But trying to work on that zone possession. Moving in their system in the zone. But, if the other team is going to let you stand out front, pitch a tent, put up a little campfire and roast marshmallows, that's what you do.
Hey, I think they'll make up some s'mores.
I think they've got an abundance of them. Here's O'Hara fighting his way out front again, poked away by Van Olsen.
Build a campfire.
Klinsing can't clear. Munson walking up the boards. He's slowed. Burnett can't clear. New Power bobbles it. wait, really? That's not. Come on. It went off one guy's hand, off the other guy's hand. I didn't know that was called a hand pass. I suppose, though, if you play it with your hand and your player is the next to touch it, regardless of whether that's with a stick or a hand. Okay, the Cardinals will take it, get it down to the other end, burn some more time off the clock. They're ready to go home.
Right.
And unfortunately, I hate to say this, but they've been playing like they were ready to go home since about 5 minutes in.
Oh,
and
there's a wide open net.
He couldn't have had more of an open net. And the Cougars, to their credit, are continuing to pressure and play with speed. They're fast on the puck. They're moving the puck. The things that Coach Benny talked about. We have to continue to play hard.
Well, because
move the
sections are
puck
coming.
well, because you can't have a lull just because you're playing a softer opponent, or you've got them already beaten down. You have to continue to pressure.
Exactly.
Chance for Koval out front, the save by Fuller, and he'll cover up. And that's probably the best opportunity of the game for the Cardinals on offense. Cougars announcer is running the credits.
Yeah, he is.
5 minutes left in the third.
He's on running time.
And now, see, I don't really like that. But you do have to work on, if that's a part of your strategy,
right,
you do have to work on it occasionally. But, to spring your best player on a jailbreak in a stretch pass.
Yeah, when you're up 13
When you're up 13-0, you do have to work on it. Again, it is kind of a live practice, if you will. But there they go. Cross-ice pass to try and spring the breakaway. Flipped off the glass into the zone. And that'll be icing before Fuller gets there.
Well, yeah, you want to continue to work on things that will get you better as the season winds down. But you also, and as you mentioned, they've held back for the most part since starting out that first period 7-0.
Face-off win back to Lemire. Backdoor pass deflected up and behind the net. A.J. Carls trips on his own laces, but able to maintain possession. Then he's bumped off it. Here's Van Holzen jumping on the loose puck. He'll skate to center. Bumped by a couple, and here goes A.J. back the other way. He lost the puck before being boarded by Garrett Burnett. Here's Lemire. Lemire trying to gain traction. He lost the puck, but forces it in deep, and he's the only one to get to the puck. Everson is shot through traffic. Yund will hold on for the faceoff.
Dang it, just shot from a ways out, into the midsection.
Take that.
Yeah.
Take that.
Absolutely. 45 shots on goal here for Centennial.
I think it's more like 55. But
how about for Coon Rapids? 9?
Maybe. Well, they actually gave him back the one that they did have in the first period, because they announced at the second intermission
that they had
that Coon Rapids had 5 shots for a 2-period total of 6.
Okay.
So that means that, somebody went back and went, hey, they had that one. Remember, it was from 10 feet inside the blue line, and
Joe Young called it. We didn't listen to him.
Lemire out of his own zone. Cross-ice pass clicks well with Marshall, and that shot deflected up into the netting out of play. Yeah, Aaron will be really tired. He was played the first period and a half against for JV, and then more than 2.5 here of varsity. So My Minneapolis math puts that at 4+ periods.
You are correct. That math has served you well.
Turnover near the top of the zone, but Clark able to poke it back free, get it out to center. Here's Koval trying to get around, but it's stopped up by Wistersill. They get to the red line, play it in deep. And I guess I thought he got the red line before he dumped it, but they'll call it icing and send it all the way back. I think that's what Coach Benny is not okay. But yeah, he had the red. One of these teams needs a little bit of a break. 1 minute remaining in the third period as Espinoza dumps it in. Fuller will leave it behind for Forga. Sidesteps some pressure. Pass broken up by Corey, but then taken back. And here they come, 3-on-1. Pass to Newpower. Wide open net for a goal.
Gonna come up one short, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, again, just a pretty goal. But I mean, just a nice job of just the pass across ice and wide open net. Not much Aaron Young can do about that one. He was playing that far side.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we even drop the puck here? 10 seconds left. I think we'll just call that a ball game. It's going to end 14-0. That was, well.
Fuller gets a shutout in his first start. Now, that didn't face a lot of shots, only
shots
8.
Really,
3 periods.
You know, maybe
he was not
maybe 2 quality scoring
exactly.
opportunities. And, it's back to the drawing board for the Cardinals. The Cougars get to pad their stats a little bit as they look forward to the last couple of weeks of the regular season. For Coon Rapids, they've got 2 more games back-to-back. They're on the road to face St. Paul Highland Park on Wednesday and then home to host Rogers on Thursday. They have Gentry Academy coming to the Crick on Saturday. So no rest for the Wicked, no chance to practice between this stretch of games. They just need to be able to bounce back and play better tomorrow. What we have coming up is boys basketball. Cardinals hosting the Anoka Tornadoes on Thursday. Girls hockey playoffs on Tuesday the 11th. And then possibly the 14th as well. But that is dependent. If the girls hockey game is not... if we don't do girls hockey, we may do boys hockey. That day they play River Lakes at home for their last home game of the regular season. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, Centennial 14, Coon Rapids 0. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.